Okay, so after much running around, Nuka-Cola plant is right there. There's this building over here just past this one. Around the back side, there's this pile of rubble. And next to this door is the phone.
This place gives me the creeps.
And so we are supposed... SatCon B16 Automated Entry System, please state your name and business. SATCO reference SC034501. Welcome, your arrival has been expected. Please enter. Okay, so finally we are here. And gotta find the Congresswoman's apartment. Oh, that was easy. Inbox. Okay. 2077. Pizza delivery. Reception. A. Wilson, apartment 3B, pizza delivery on 14th of this month at 2036. I ordered a deli meats special pizza from Pizza Shack. Pizza Shack assured me that the pizza arrived at the building at 2052. However, I did not receive the pizza until 2113, at which point it was cold. The young man on duty at the time, Carl, I believe his name is, swore to me that the pizza had actually arrived at the building at 2108. However, Pizza Shack have shown me a signed dispatch from form clearly showing dispatch from their shop at 2047. It is no more than 5 minutes from Pizza Shack to this building by car. Furthermore, the young lady who delivered the pizza states that the doorman refused her entry for many minutes, citing security concerns. If there was a problem, it would have been a simple matter to ring me and ascertain whether I had in fact ordered the pizza. The pizza was ruined as a consequence of the doorman's actions. I therefore require reimbursement in the sum of $14.50 from building funds. Otherwise, I shall consider taking legal actions. Yours, A. Wilson, apartment 3B. Okay. Dear Keith, you may recall that I mentioned confidentially that I had some suspicions that I had been followed on a number of occasions recently. Thank you for your recent mail on that subject. I have since received an anonymous mail suggesting that my life may be in danger. Now, this may simply be another crank message of the kind that anyone in public life can expect to receive, but coupled with my other suspicions, it has made me rather nervous. I have therefore arranged for a new security entry system to be installed on my apartment. I hope you will not take this as indicating any lack of faith in you or the building's existing security system. However, I really do feel it necessary for my own peace of mind. Would you please ensure that the engineers have access to the building and to my apartment for identification purposes? They will quote security code SC034501. Thank you, Vanessa Corby. Noise. I'm afraid that once again I must make a complaint against Mr. Dragonetti in apartment 2A. I appreciate that a certain amount of tolerance is required when living in an apartment complex. However, the lease clearly states that noise after 11 p.m. must be kept to a minimum. Since making my previous complaint, I have noticed that he appears to be making more noise, not less. Perhaps he thinks this amusing, but I can assure you that at the age of 85, I do not find listening to his amorous nocturnal activities at all entertaining. Would you please have a discreet word with him? I do not want to make a fuss, but if this continues, I shall have to raise the issue with the Residents Association. Thank you, L. Baxter. 3A. Sent mail. Dear Congresswoman Corby, following our recent conversation, I have been especially concerned about security and felt I should report something to you. On 3 occasions recently, when you have returned to the building in the evening, I have noticed a dark blue car pulled up for a few minutes across the street. I have not seen anyone get out of or into this vehicle. The car seems to be waiting for a few minutes, then drives off. The windows appeared to be tinted, so I was unable to see who was in the car. I'm sure this was just a coincidence and that the car and its occupants were going about their perfectly legitimate business, but I thought it best to let you know just in case. If you have any concerns at all about security, please don't hesitate to talk to me. Regards, Keith, Senior Concierge. Power supply. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you all remember the decision taken at last April's Residents Association meeting to install a private power supply for the building following the recent spat of brownouts and supply disruptions. The residents of the apartment next door agree in June to join with us and share the cost, and accordingly a notice to tender was issued to several suppliers. The bid from Applied Fission Systems was accepted, and I am pleased to inform you all that engineers will be on site next week to install the new generators. I am told that the installation will take no more than 3 days, since the nuclear fuel for the reactor is guaranteed to have a minimum operating lifespan of 100 years. Therefore, there will no longer be any utility bills for heating or electricity. The annual building maintenance charge will be reduced accordingly. With kind regards, Keith, Senior Concierge. Apartment 2B. Okay. Dear Congresswoman, you'll be pleased to hear that engineers from SATCO finally arrived this morning and have installed your new personal entry system and a reinforced door for you. For your apartment, they have set the entry code as you instructed, although I would strongly urge you to change the code as soon as possible to one less easily guessed. Keith. Okay.
Yeah?
Ah, dang it. Let's go.
Okay.
And there's a door here. And another door. And a bathroom. Okay. Drinking. Amanda. I assume, yep, the elevator does not work. Okay, I'm guessing this is going to be security panel 2B. Okay. Okay, it should be Entry denied. Okay. Entry denied. I could have swore he said she was 39. Can't go up any higher. Okay, we'll be back in a moment. Okay, I kept putting in October 27th. The war happened on the 23rd. She was born on the 23rd. I don't know why I was putting in the 27th. Entry granted. Have a nice day, Miss Corby. Okay. Do we have a light switch? No, we don't. Okay. Stop looking at me like that. This is the kitchen. This is the robot's room. We'll talk to the robot in a moment. Out of my way, guys. Out of my way. Get it. Oh, boy. Okay, I can't interact with any of these books. Yeah? No? Maybe? I don't know. Empty desk, muddy pitcher. Empty desk. Wait. Oh. Of course that would be in here. Terminal. Ooh, sexy sleepwear. Okay, let's turn on this robot. There we go. Switch on apartment power. Activate Mr. Handy.
It's good to see you alive and well, sir.
Benson,
Good morning, sir. What can I do for you?
give me the book. I'd like a haircut. Give me something to drink. Tell me a joke.
Photons have mass? I didn't even know they were Catholic. Huh.
Heh. Okay. Bye.
If there's anything you require further, feel free to ask, sir.
Nope.
I hope things are going well for you today, madam.
Computer. Here we go. Sent mail. Okay, we've already read that one. Inbox. I understand your concerns, and I admit I didn't know how I'd react in your shoes, but you knew what this was going to be like right from when we started. Much as I appreciate the compliment, you got where you are now precisely because you're the kind of person who doesn't put up with that kind of BS. All I did was open a few people's eyes. That's all. You're the one who did all the hard work. What happened to my fire-breathing Nessie? We need you more than ever if we're ever going to put an end to this war mongering and corruption. It's what we have been fighting for all our lives, and now you're finally in a position to do something about it. Don't get cold feet now, of all times. Are you free on Saturday? Let's take a trip to Marini's and discuss things properly. Ring me. Okay. Suspicious activity. Following our recent conversation, I have been especially concerned about security, and I felt I should report something to you. On 3 occasions recently, when you have returned to the building in the evening, I have noticed dark blue. Okay. Apartment 2B. Dear Congresswoman, you will be pleased to hear that the engineers from... Okay. They've installed the security private. Oh boy. Days like today make me wonder why I bother. Much as I'm grateful for Alan for pulling the strings on my behalf, I sometimes wonder if I'm not in over my head, not intellectually. My God, the fossils on the committee have barely 2 brain cells between them. So if they can do it, so can I. But emotionally, the constant snipping, the whispers, the condensations, of course, to those throwbacks, a woman in Congress is itself an affront. A woman on a committee, the Defense Procurement Committee, no less, is an outrage. I don't know if I'm cut out for it. I've got Brownski to basically admit that his program was nothing but a pet project that duplicated an existing Air Force project at great costs, and the rest of the committee looked at me as if I'd made a lewd suggestion. What the hell happened to oversight? What happened to doing their damn jobs instead of cozying up to empire building generals and slimy contractors charging 50 times costs? It's all just a chummy men's club. Have a drink, General. See you on the golf course. And naturally, I'm not a member. It's starting to get me down. Come on, Vanessa. You can't think like that. You've got to stand up, not just for your gender, but for all decent Americans who are having their hard-earned money stolen from them by these slime balls. Well, that's what I'm going to tell myself when I wake up tomorrow morning. For now, I have a date with a bottle of scotch. I don't know what the hell is going on in the committee today. It's like they were all in on some big secret, nodding and winking like a bunch of overexcited schoolboys. If I'm on the committee and I've got the top level clearance, why am I being kept in the dark? Why are there some programs that the little woman isn't allowed to know about anything about? Why is that doddering semi-smile walking corpse Slickum, whatever, apparently on in on the big secret, and yet I get spoon-fed drivel about new transportation options. What the hell is the purpose of that damned committee anyways? Just what the hell am I actually doing? I managed to catch Emerson without his usual posse of crusty old minders today. I figured he'd cracked under a bit of skillful questioning. He's hardly the brightest bulb on the community, but he turned out to be either more resilient or more frightened than I imagined. I go for the latter. Someone's got the screws on him. I did notice something, though, that caught my eye. He had his briefcase with him under his arm, and the top was open. He had a book in there called the... It's not the Intact, it's the Insect Geome. Don't know why I'm saying the Intact this whole time. And no, it was quite clearly an academic work of some kind, so the question arises, what would an intellectual pygmy like Emerson be doing with such a book? He wouldn't know a genome if it bit him on the bottom. Come to that, he'd probably be hard-pushed to identify an insect, something to ponder. I managed command... already read that one. I think I'm starting to get paranoid crossing the bridge this evening. I forgot I had to pick up Aunt Jane's present, so I had to make a highly dubious lane change. At the light, when I glanced in the mirror, I saw a dark gray sedan a couple of cars back, making the exact same move. I've never seen anyone do that before, and never. Everyone crossing the bridge at that time of day knows the lane they need to be in, and they get in it way before the lights. What are the chances that two people just happen to suddenly remember they're going the wrong way at the same time like that? The gray sedan was a couple cars back all the way to Aunt Jane's. I thought it slowed down when I turned in her drive, but that might have been my imagination. It wasn't there when I left, and I didn't see anyone following me back here, so maybe I'm just getting jumpy still. It's unsettling me. Maybe someone doesn't like that I'm asking questions. How's that one? I went over to the Library of Congress this afternoon to ask about the book I saw in Emerson's case the other day. The girl I spoke to on the front desk was very helpful, said she remembered someone else asking about it, and offered to check the cards to see who it was. 5 minutes later, she came back saying that she was mistaken and she'd never heard of the book, and certainly no one had ever asked about it. Quite some turnaround. When I asked her if they had a copy, she tried to tell me that there was no such book. At that point, some other older woman, presumably her supervisor, came over and said, "Oh no, certainly there was such a book, but it was out on loan." When I asked who had it, was it Mr. Emerson, she suddenly told me that such information was confidential, and that anyway it wasn't Mr. Emerson, definitely not. I asked if that wasn't confidential too, and just got one cold stare in return. What's the big deal with this book? It didn't look like anything special, just the sort of obscure volume you might find in the reference section of your local bookstore. And why the hell would Emerson, of all people, be interested in it? Had a splitting migraine this morning, couldn't see straight, felt like I was looking through a broken window, walked down to the drugstore to try and find something, and that's when I spotted him. Guy about 40, gray suit, sunglasses, hat, at a rickshaw angle, a newspaper under his arm, seemed to be doing a lot of window shopping, just like he was last Saturday down at the mall. Or was it just the migraine? There's a lot of 40-ish guys with gray suits out there. Maybe I've read one too many thrillers. That thought didn't stop me spending all afternoon glancing out the window, trying to see if he was there across the street like in a film noir. He wasn't. I spent a lot of time in bookstores over the last few days looking for that damned book. Didn't dare to ask for it. Thought that was stupid. For it though. Stupid. I am getting paranoid. Anyway, went to Arlington Library this morning and took a chance to ask about it. They had a copy. It's on my desk in front of me. Nothing special about the book as far as I can see. It's pretty technical stuff. Certainly not written for the layman. Totally incomprehensible to me, but I don't see any secret code here or anything with national security implications, so why the cloak and dagger stuff over at the Library of Congress? Maybe it's the authors. I asked who they were. This Vegas and Klowowski, and the woman at the Arlington told me they had no information on them, but I caught a glimpse of the computer screen before she noticed I was looking and cleared it, and I saw a little line there, information redacted. Why would information about a couple of bug hunters be redacted? And who did the redacting? Curious and curiouser. Ever since I got to that book, I'm starting to jump at my own shadow. I can't shake off the feeling that I'm being watched all the time now. I keep looking at stuff in the apartment to see if anything's out of place. I can't put my finger on what's wrong exactly, but I definitely feel that someone's been in here. Good thing I locked the book in the safe. I'm sure it would mysteriously have become missing otherwise. In the safe. It's in the safe. Looking for a safe. Where the hell is a safe? Everyone, look for a safe. Okay, so I've spent so much time running around this place. I actually started deleting stuff, trying to figure out what I needed to do to find the safe, and I deleted this desk here, and after I did that, I came over here and I found activate on this space. There's our safe. I'm not going to finish this mod today. No. Okay. Pick the lock. And the insect genome, or the intact gnome, as I'm going to call it, because I'm angry. Let's go. Wake up. I know it's the middle of the night. I don't care. I'm angry. It took forever to find that safe. Just get out of it.
Your arrival is most unexpected, but not entirely unwelcome.
I have that stupid book you were looking for, Doctor. Oh my, how absolutely marvelous. I've never imagined that you would be able to find a copy. What an extraordinary persistence you have since you've gone to so much trouble. I feel I should give you a suitable reward. My previous offer was wholly inadequate. Please take these caps with my thanks. 1,000 caps. Anything else you request, Doctor? Well, there is, I suppose, given you've managed to find a copy of the insect genome. You might also... forgive me, there's an item that I need, but the chances of being able to get it are so slim, I hardly like to ask. I'm ready for anything, Doctor. Okay, let's hear it. Very well. My experiments here require the use of biological material known as FEV. I was able to procure a small sample of this material some time ago, but my supply is now running low. If you were able to obtain a supply of that material, it would be of enormous help to me. I was told that this material could be found in the capital wasteland, but none of the savages I have spoken to have ever encountered it. Scavengers, not savages. Where would I start to look for this stuff? Well, there is one possible location that I have heard about. A while ago I enlisted someone's help in trying to establish if the rumors of FEV in Capital Wasteland were true. He mentioned Vault-Tec headquarters here. This is one note he sent me. Read it for yourself. You might as well have this too. It's the device he mentioned in the note. I'll take a look and see if this leads anywhere. If I get a chance, I'll look into it. Oh, marvelous! I was sure it would interest you. Now, the strain of FEV you would be looking for is AM100214A. I hope you will return with good news. Okay, so I'm going to stop here this week. I am quite angry, and I've got long reach turned on, so so yeah, we'll be back next week. Stop watching him sleep, Amanda.